second graders, we're starting a brand new unit in math today.
No more adding and subtracting for a while, huh?
Kiss it goodbye.
Woo.
Well,
Right.
let me be careful because they might still need some of those skills. That's why we taught them to add and subtract. But it's not going to be quite the same. This week and next week, we are working on a graphing unit.
Ooh.
Yeah, and graphs are a way to represent numbers and information in a clear, easy way to read it.
All right.
So they might even see one on our packet today and up here on the board. Today we are going to be talking about something called a tally mark, which is one way to get information from a survey. So let's talk a little bit about that. Up here it says you can take a survey to collect data. Okay, let's break that down. Mrs. Grant, what would you say a survey is?
Okay, a survey is like if I were to go around to all my students and ask them, what's your favorite ice cream? And 3 of them say chocolate, 2 of them say strawberry, and 1 of them says vanilla. Then I would know exactly who likes what flavor, and I could keep a list of how many students like each thing.
So that idea of asking people questions and gathering their information is a survey.
Yes.
Which is cool because I've taken surveys before.
Mhm.
They might have even seen some on TV. It's a really great way to get information. Now it says to collect data. Some people call it data. What does that mean? What is that word?
You're basically collecting information, and then when you're doing math, it's usually you're collecting numbers that are telling you how many of each specific thing.
So if one person liked vanilla ice cream, would that be your data?
Well, your data would be all of the information you collect, but that would be part of it for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. All
Yeah.
right. Well, these new words aren't so bad after all.
Mm-hmm.
Then it says you can record the data with tally marks.
That's really easy. It's a big word, but it's really easy.
Okay.
You see these lines right here?
Yeah.
These are tally marks, and I have on good authority that they use tally marks in first grade. So these should. I remember talking to some of my friends, and they even knew that when you get to the 5th tally mark, you do a line down the center. So if I was saying, who likes ice cream? Okay, that person likes ice cream. This person likes ice cream. There's a 5th person. Then I have to go through the middle for the 5th one. And then I start a new group, 3, 4, until I get to the 5th one. And that helps me separate by groups of 5.
Oh, so then when I'm counting, I can just say 5, 10 instead
Yes.
of 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
5. Oh, so tally marks are a way to record your information, but it's also really easy to read.
Yes.
I love it.
Count fast.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I bet when you're asking those questions, instead of having to erase the number each time, you're just adding another line.
Yes.
And you can count them up later.
Yeah.
I have learned so much
Already,
in the
huh?
first couple minutes of
Yes.
our video. Well, let's take a look at our example. It says that Greg asked his classmates which lunch was their favorite. And he has 4 choices: pizza, sandwich, salad, and pasta. And you can see that in our chart over here, the tally marks represent how many students liked each of those. So it looks like 4 students liked pizza, 6 people preferred a sandwich, and the information goes all the way down to the bottom. So what a great representation. I think there's some problems at the bottom of the page that we really want to do along with you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move that up. All right. Mrs. Grant, what kind of survey are we doing this time? What are we trying to find out?
We're going to ask 10 of our students
Okay.
which pet is their favorite. And they only get 4 options. They can't, unfortunately, you can't say guinea pig, Elena, because that's not one of the options. But cat, dog, fish, and bird, if those are your options, choose your favorite out of the options we give you.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to be taking a make-believe survey right now. That way you guys have numbers to work with. Okay, we're going to be writing down some tally marks. All right. Let's say cat. I'm gonna see 1, 2, 3. 3 students like the cat. All right. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna do my tally marks. 3. Can you count how many students like dogs?
Sure. 6.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yep.
1, 2,
Lots of
3,
kids in here.
4, 5, 6. Okay, well, we only get 10, so we only have 4 more students.
They're not as...
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, we only have 1 more student. Okay, let's see. One of them probably only likes fish or birds. Let's see.
Well,
Oh, how many like fish? Oh, that kid likes fish. That means none of them liked birds?
I believe it.
Okay, well, no, but birds doesn't get a tally mark. So now that we have our information, and that happens sometimes. Maybe you chose a dud answer and nobody likes birds. If you like a bird, I'm sorry.
You just weren't in our
You weren't
survey.
in our class right now to participate in the survey. All right, so here we're going to start answering our questions using the data that we compiled, we got together by asking all of the students to complete the survey. Can you read the first question for us?
I would love to. How many classmates chose dog?
Okay, so we'll go to the dog and we'll count up the tally marks. And I see that I have a group of 5. That was really easy to see because it has that slash through the middle. And I see there's 1 more, so that's 6 people chose, 6 classmates chose a dog. What's the next one say?
Ooh, this one looks a little tricky. It says, which pet did the fewest classmates choose?
Oh, fewest is a really important word.
Fewest?
Yes. That means the least amount.
Oh.
The smallest amount of students chose this animal.
The smallest amount? Well, no one chose the bird.
Yeah. You might be tempted to say fish because it only has 1, but bird has none.
0.
So I would say bird, huh?
All right.
As the fewest students.
So fewest, that's an important word.
Yeah.
They might need that on the back of their
Mhm.
paper. Okay, number 4. Did more classmates choose cat or dog?
Oh, well, I can see that the cat, only 3 people chose cat and 6 people chose a dog. So definitely dog. Okay. Now we have to use that information. This looks like a hard question.
Ooh.
How many more students chose a dog than a cat? So we have to figure out what to do. Should we add them together? Should we do a subtraction problem?
Well, I remember that when we were doing addition and subtraction, we talked about keywords and word problems.
Mhm.
And I remember how many more is really a comparing question. So we need to subtract the information.
Okay, so our numbers are 6 for dog and 3 for cat. And when I subtract, I always start with my big daddy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with 6. 6 people chose a dog, and I'm going to subtract the 3 people that chose a cat, and that's going to leave me with 3. So 3 more students chose a dog than a cat. Okay.
Tricky. So how many more, if you see that on the back of your page, which you probably will, you want to remember that it means you need to subtract.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mrs. Grant, while you were busy doing whatever it is that you do, I came up with a tricky question.
Did you?
Do you mind if I ask?
Sure.
Let's see how well Mrs. Grant can handle this one.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the question. How many students did not choose a cat or a dog?
How many students did not choose a cat or a dog? So if I think about this question, okay, we're not talking about who chose a cat or a dog, so we must be talking about how many students did choose a fish or a bird.
Yes.
Right?
Good.
So we're basically going to forget about the cat and the dog
Mhm.
and only focus on the kids who chose fish and bird.
Yep.
And since nobody chose a bird, only 1 student.
Exactly.
Okay.
What a tricky question.
It is.
Why did I ask that? Well, there's a question on the other side that's really similar to that,
Okay.
where they need to be able to separate the information just like you did.
Okay.
If it says not a cat or a dog or not something, then you count the other information.
Okay.
All right. So on the back, you are going to have another graph, and we're going to give you some information for it, okay?
All right.
All right. On the back, it says favorite indoor game, and it asks you to ask 10 of your classmates what their favorite game is. But the last time I checked, they're at home. So what could we do?
We're going to do the survey portion for you. We're
Okay.
going to write down the tally marks. You guys are going to help us with that. And then you're going to answer these questions on your own. And we're going to remember that there's only 10 students.
There are only 10.
So
I'm going to do better this time.
yes. All right, out of the 10 students, let's see how many of them chose what kind of a game, a board game. Let's see, 1, 2. Only 2 of them chose a board game. Okay. What
Okay.
about a card game? Can you see?
Only one. That
Whoa,
time.
only one. All right. All right. Computer. Whoa, there's so many students who chose a computer
My
game.
goodness.
1, 2,
Get them all.
3, 4, 5. Wow, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So that leaves us with puzzle.
Let's just pick
Our last two students.
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
Okay.
Thanks for participating.
That's all of the data that we needed for
Mhm.
our survey.
Yep.
Now you guys are going to copy this down. 2 tally marks for board game, 1 tally mark for a card game, 5 for computer, and 2 for puzzle. Once you have copied this down, you're going to answer questions 6, 7, and 8, which is a 2-parter.
Mhm.
And there's also some questions below that, but you can't really see right now because it goes down lower.
Well.
Yeah. So these are all pretty much the same as the front.
Mhm.
And that challenge question that you asked me on the other side of the page is
Mhm.
on this at the bottom.
It's down there.
So if you forget how to answer that, just rewind the video a little bit and you can see how we answered it. So we think with this information you guys will have it though, right?
Yep, I think so. They're gonna do great.